Welcome to the Friday Planning Series. I'm Pam Druzwicki, owner of Powerful Purpose, and I am a productivity and leadership coach. And I come to you with 15, 20-minute tips. So welcome to the Friday Planning Series. I enjoy coming to you because I love sharing different tips on how to make your life more complete. Being a productivity and leadership coach, it helps me and allows me to help um, generate habits and activities for professional women, business women, business owners, founders. Just take and become great leaders and stewards of their lives and create the best version of who they are. So today I'm going to talk about movement, how important movement is, not only for our body, but also for our mind. And when we find that we are moving and feeling active, our self-esteem goes up, right? When we're feeling tired and sluggish and we're telling ourselves that we're tired and are sluggish, how are we showing up? Self-esteem going down, right? So today I wanted to give you a few tips of ways that we could incorporate movement into our day. I have a beautiful standing desk. I stand all day long. So my movement is standing. I have a tendency to kind of maybe go side by side while I'm thinking, do little calf raises. Any little thing helps, right? Any little thing helps. The important thing is finding out how to incorporate this movement into our day so it's not a chore, but it becomes an actual habit. So standing desks, calf raises, right? All of that stuff. And making it truly part of your day. So when you get up in the morning and if you create a routine around going for a walk, think about how that makes you feel after you're done. I know hesitation stalls the momentum, right? So we get up, the alarm clock goes off, and we want to hit that snooze button. That snooze button gives us an extra nine minutes of sleep. But what happens during that 9 minutes of sleep? I know for me, my brain is already on and moving. And speaking of movement, if I am not in a place to be able to exercise or move, it totally brings me down. And then my brain moves to areas that are more about low self-esteem, low confidence. Why couldn't I have done that? But when I'm feeling excited about movement, I go for a walk, I get my favorite book and I plug into my book and I listen to that while I'm walking. It makes all of the difference in the world. Do you feel that, right? Do you feel that? So movement is really an important part of our whole lives, not just for our physical being, but for our mental being also. It helps reduce stress. Movement helps reduce stress because we have this sense of ourselves that when we're in movement and we're in action, our body's in action, so our brain is in action, okay? Taking those deep breaths during your movement helps you release the pressure or the stress that you might be feeling. You know, when you're just sitting at your desk all day, how do you feel? Do you feel your shoulders, right, are up around your ears? But if you're standing and moving and you bring your shoulders back, what a difference that is, correlating with the mindset that we're feeling. Studies say that it helps with depression. Movement helps with depression. It improves your mood. I know when I come back from a beautiful walk or I do a workout or go for a bike ride or a hike, how much more energized I feel. I may feel tired, but it's not an overwhelming tired. It's an energizing tired. So movement truly helps that. also finding that it enhances the cognitive functions. So when I'm training with my trainer, and now we do it virtually, when I have to stop and think, if I have to move my arm and my leg, opposite leg at the same time, it truly takes me a little bit to get acclimated. The more that I'm doing it, the more easier it is getting to actually do the opposite arm with leg. So cognitive recharge is absolutely amazing for you when we think about movement. There's so many different things that we could do. Maybe we park further when we get to go back to the stores. Um, just, when before all this pandemic happened, I would have meetings and my coaching sessions, we would walk. When I did coaching sessions with people that lived close by to me, I would do walking. So really figuring out how you want to put the movement into your life is the first step. When you sit and you plan for the week ahead, put movement down on your plan and brain dump around it. What are the things that you love to do? Now, when we were kids, we were super active, right? We're riding bikes, we're out playing basketball, hula hoops, roller skating, hotchkot. There's so many different things that we used to do. And as adults, we get busier. And unless we ingrain a habit of some kind of exercise, maybe you're a runner or a biker, on a daily basis, if we don't have something that feeds us, then we're not going to find the time, because we'll be too busy, the time to add movement in. So sit and do a brain dump around that. What do you like to do? What was the thing that you loved as a kid that you did? Maybe it was hula hooping. Maybe you get yourself a hula hoop. How much fun would that be, right? And you just set a timer and hula hoop for 10 minutes a day or whatever it's going to be. When we start small in little pieces, then we're able to be more consistent with it, right? Consistency actually ends up paying off. So if we start with those small pieces and move on, we're going to get really big results. But we have to truly, at least for me, and I'm hoping that maybe you'll resonate with this, is that if I'm not consistent and I have to change my mindset around the result that I want and how far in the future I want that result. Person of instant gratification, and I think a lot of us are people of instant gratification. I mean, just take the credit cards, for instance. Back in the day, we would have to put things on layaway, right? And we would just pay something a little bit every single week in order to get it. Now we just use the credit card to get what we want. So it's the same with our movement. What is it that we want to get out of our movement? How do we want to feel from our movement? Now, where I live, there's all hills. So I know that I have to, really boost up my mindset to go for a walk. I always try to think of how am I going to feel at the end of this instead of how I am going to feel at the beginning, because my walk out of my neighborhood is a tremendous hill. So I can't focus on that. I have to focus on the end result. What do I want to feel? How do I feel when that happens? Couple of times, what I would do is I would videotape myself. And it was almost like video journaling. Videotape myself how I felt at the end of that movement. So when I was feeling a little discouraged or down and I didn't feel like doing it and I just didn't want to go there, I looked back and listened to that video. And it was like, yeah, that's right. I feel dynamite when I'm done and I'm able to do those hills. Yes. Am I tired when I reach the top of the hill? Absolutely. But instead of feeling tired with that movement, I attach victory to that movement. That's key. The victory that you feel when you reach the top of that mountain. So your movement might not be walking out of a hilly neighborhood. It may be just that you want to walk around your block or be able to walk down to the mailbox and back. But the key is scheduling the time for the movement, scheduling it. Make it part of your day, your every single day. Okay? There are going to be days that you're not going to feel like doing it, but add some kind of movement. Now, the other thing that I find that is an accountability partner, right? So being accountable, maybe you have a walking buddy, or maybe you have a trainer that keeps you accountable. New Mother's Day gift, my Apple Watch, huge accountability. I want to close those circles, right? I want to close those rings and I want to get badges. That motivates me. So when I look at the calendar of all of my activity and movement every day throughout the week, I could see where I hit. Between that and my planner, I could keep track of how I feel and what the success is. That's what I would love for you to do. Engage in the feeling that you have after you've completed your movement. So there's one resource that I want to give to you. If you go out to my website and you go to www.powerful-purpose.com/roadmap, download your roadmap to sanity, because on that roadmap to sanity, you can map out what you want happening in your life. And physical activity is part of this roadmap. So there's family, there's personal, your personal, what you want, spiritual, business or career, your income, your give back, your savings, how much you want to save and what you want to save for, and your physical being. What is it that you're going to do? You could track and say, I want movement, and put in how many times a day that you want to move. Create your roadmap so it's a visual. Write down in the middle your power word of how you want to feel when this roadmap is completed by the end of the month or the quarter or the year. So feel free to go out and do that. That'd be awesome. In the meantime, just move. Like I said, sway back and forth, do some calf raises up, whatever it is, start somewhere. You're going to feel amazing when you do. Until next time, I'm Pam Drzwicki. Have a dynamite weekend and God bless.